There is something truly magical about waking up next to a frozen river with giant glacier formations right off in the distance. With having one of the more memorable nights sleep, with temperatures down in the negative 7 degrees Fahrenheit, this was certainly a morning to remember. This spot easily found its way at the top of my list, and I couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity of being here. Unfortunately, our time here would be finding its end. With only 7 days on the schedule for our visit in Alaska, we had a lot more ground to cover and new places to experience. Because of how involved and being unfamiliar with the route back to the trailhead, Craig had sent a few folks from the shop to help guide us out. If you remember, this particular trail involves numerous water crossings with the status of actually being frozen up to debate, along with endless routes that navigate very tight passages through overgrown trees. With driving a full-size rental truck and leaning more on the heavier and wider side, we needed to exercise a bit of caution, though there might have been 1 or 2 snags along the way. With taking a slightly different exit route, we found ourselves in a unique situation. When attempting to cross a very small and slightly frozen creek, the weight of the tundra broke through the ice, leading the 2 front tires to slightly fall in. While we were lucky the water wasn't deep, it was a quick reminder how fast things can turn when out here. Thankfully, being in a group with available recovery gear, a quick winch to get the tundra unstuck was all that was needed. It was clear to see this area was a definite go-to for all the locals. Seeing those with vehicle builds of all shapes and sizes, and even trail trophies, driving together for a common goal of simply getting out and experiencing what's around you. Another example of why I love this community. Soon after, we made our way back to the trailhead to air up the tires and say our goodbyes. A huge thanks goes out to Taylor, Josh, and Justin for helping us navigate back, even despite the small recovery. From here, Shelby and I were bound to try and get a general sense of where camp might be for the evening, so we could head back to that said spot after venturing around the area. With the goal to begin traveling further north, we decided to peek into Hatcher Pass, starting from the west entrance at Willow. Due to how the road was plowed, getting anywhere on a side spur road was not going to happen. With snowbanks as tall as the truck, and not really wanting to test how buoyant Kodiak would be, we decided to head back and push further north to a more familiar stomping ground in the town of Talkeetna. One of Shelby and I's first trips together was taking a spontaneous adventure for an extended weekend in Alaska. While here, we booked a couple nights staying at this cozy cabin called the Blueberry Chalet. Needless to say, we fell in love with it and have many fond photos of our time spent here. So with us passing through, we had to take the opportunity for a quick visit. After reaching out to the owners to make sure it was okay, they were more than happy of us passing through again and even left a couple snacks upon our arrival. with a late night of kind of how the day has progressed, we're working our way to camp at an old reliable spot at the Riley Creek Campground in Denali National Park. It's about 2.5 hours from where we're currently at in Talkeetna, and simply because of how much snow there is, dispersed camping is a little bit hard to find in the areas that we've been. So we're gonna go there because the next day we have plans to go to Fairbanks, which will put us in a good spot time-wise. So this will work out great. We'll have a nice place to camp, and then we might even be able to sleep in tomorrow. So it'll be awesome. So we'll work our way there and see what the rest of the trip brings.
There's something nice about knowing you have an almost for sure place to park and set up camp, especially in weather conditions like this. The Riley Creek Campground in Denali National Park offers a limited number of sites at a first-come, first-served basis. While all amenities are closed until resume of peak season, the campground itself is free this time of year. Just follow the signs showing which spots are open, or just look for the spots that aren't completely buried in snow.
Good morning, everybody. We are currently at the Riley Creek Campground here in Denali National Park. We didn't know, but this campground's actually open year-round. As opposed to our last visit, they have select handful of sites that they actually clear and shovel all the snow out of the way so you can actually park your vehicle, your trailer, or your camper. So it's really nice to be here having a for sure spot, since the snow is just so much that a lot of the side roads are just inaccessible. So coming here late last night after our 2.5 hour drive from Talkeetna, this worked out perfect. Backed in, got the heater cranking, and fell asleep comfortably in this arrangement that Kodiak on the Toyota Tundra has set up for us. Absolutely love our whole setup. Everything that we need is just right in there. Even cook inside, sleep, offload footage, everything we need in the comforts of a heating system thanks to the Webasto inside that alu cab canopy camper. But our plan for today is to drive up to Fairbanks. Got another 2.5 hour drive or so. We have a few things on the schedule and agenda that we want to do up there before our trip concludes here in literally just a matter of a few days. So it's incredible how fast time has flown by, but it has been an amazing trip. I'm almost lost for words here. It's just an amazing trip of everything up in the Alaska winter, especially with this incredible weather that we've been having. So awesome stuff. Can't wait to see where the rest of our days take us.
As we made our way further north, we wanted to take the opportunities where we could to explore open side roads. Being that they were far and few between due to the snow, we wanted to maximize our exploring options and scout future campsites. For this road, I'm glad we did. However, it almost came at the cost of a very valuable piece of filming equipment.
Strong wind warning.
Yeah?
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Almost lost it.
You
found it.
Nothing's worse when you're low on battery and it disconnects from signal. Scariest moment of your life, especially in this one. But I got it.
It comes as a good reminder that sometimes pushing things a bit too far for the shot can have its drawbacks, especially with the heart-sinking feeling of a lost drone. Though with the crisis averted and all put away safely, we continued on our journey. We had a great recommendation from Craig to check out the World Ice Art Championship held in Fairbanks. Even though the actual events of sculpting the ice had already taken place, public entry to view all the pieces were still open. Now, coming from someone whose art abilities stop at making snowmen in the front yard, I can't begin to imagine the thought process and extreme planning for detail when it comes to ice sculpting, especially knowing you can't erase and simply start over. There are multiple competing classes from individual pieces to teams. Given only a set period of time to create, these folks worked tirelessly into the night with sub-freezing conditions adding to the pressure. Now for me, each exhibit was a true showcase of art no matter what place they ended up being ranked, while making for a very unique experience to have taken a part of, including the more interactive exhibits of ice ping pong, mini golf, chess, and of course, the ice slide. After a quick lunch made in the warmth of the Alucab camper, we were soon venturing further out towards Chana Hot Springs. While this place is certainly more on the touristy side, it was a fun area to at least visit and experience once. Discovered back in August 5th, 1905 by two gold mining brothers Robert and Thomas Swan, Chana Hot Springs has evolved over the years to welcoming visitors from all over the world to embrace and experience the creative powers of the hot waters while getting a chance to view the aurora lights. While here, we not only got to enjoy the hot springs under the cold winter night sky, but also took on a brief tour of the Aurora Ice Museum, known as the world's largest ice environment. While the tour certainly had interesting pieces to check out, the real win was the Appletini at the Ice Bar, made from a one-of-a-kind ice glass. And with the pace this trip has been, I couldn't help but try one. Not too long after, we were bound for finding camp once again. We ended up finding camp at a hiking trailhead not too far from the hot springs. Being the only ones there in a wide open parking lot, it seemed to do the trick for a late night arrival. What was pleasant was waking up to stunning views of the surrounding landscapes and even getting our first snowfall of the entire trip. There's something surreal about the silence snow brings, especially when out here. As for today though, we would soon be making our trek back south, as tomorrow would be our final day here in Alaska. So with a quick pack down, we were back on the road once again. I'll be the first to admit, driving Kodiak in these conditions was a ton of fun. Even better to see Shelby get more comfortable behind the wheel as well for a truck of this size. Though as we left the Fairbanks area, we pushed on with a 3-hour drive to Healey. There was one particular spot from our days before when exploring here that I wanted to camp at. Better yet, just to get into camp a little earlier to relax a bit.
All right, guys, 15-degree wind chill, and we found camp just outside of Healey, which is south of Nenana and north of Denali National Park. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Been here once before, so I thought this would be a nice campsite for tonight, and it certainly is. The landscape behind me is absolutely amazing. This is going to put us in a good spot for tomorrow because unfortunately our trip is coming to an end, so we need to head back to Anchorage then before flying out. But otherwise, this trip here for a week-long embracing Alaska in the heart of winter has been so incredible and such an experience. I can't wait to begin editing all this footage. It's just absolutely beautiful to be here. So with that and the conclusion of our trip, we're gonna go keep warm inside the camper, maybe think about dinner, enjoy a little sunset here before long, and see where tomorrow takes us. But it's been incredible so far.
Sadly, today is our final day here in Alaska. With the late night flight out heading back to Seattle, Washington, we needed to make the final 4.5-hour push to Anchorage for returning Kodiak and getting all our belongings organized. However, similar to our last visit here, Craig and Brooke graciously invited us to enjoy dinner with them before flying out. As for dinner this evening, we had our sights set on a local favorite pizza place called Moose's Tooth. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend checking them out, as they are certainly one of the more tastier pizzas I've had.
The crusty crab pizza is the
It's amazing how fast time flies when you're having fun. 7 days here felt like only a couple, and before we knew it, we were once again back at the airport for our departure. I can't thank enough Craig and Brooke and all the team of Alaska Overlander for helping make this trip so memorable. From our time spent skiing on the hill, experiencing the start of the Iditarod, camping next to a glacier, and all the incredible adventures there in between, this was a trip of a lifetime. If you're like me and limited on vacation for sneaking away from the 9-to-5, be sure to check out Alaska Overlander for your next trip here in the far north. From top-tier 4x4 vehicle rentals, outstanding service, and having everything you need for a memorable experience no matter the season, they make getting out and exploring incredibly easy. As always, I sincerely appreciate all of your support. It truly means the world. Though until next time, safe travels.